Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Katka here. Happy October! Happy October! Happy October! I have something magical. Look, what a creature, isn't it? I was so afraid to pick it up. Something so like, oh, and here it is. Now, as I was able to pick it up, even though, obviously it's not alive anymore, unfortunately, but Arizona is pretty majestic with all its majestic creatures and the sun setting shortly. October is month one, so 10, of course, but number one after month nine, after a massive completion. So much has happened this year, yeah, on so many levels, internally and externally, globally, and privately in our homes and inside our homes, our bodies. So it's a beautiful time for just being in stillness for a little bit and appreciation of everything that has been up until now, and really being steady for a little bit and see what wants to come in, see what's next for every single one of us. The thing that was very clear to me today, the thing that was very, very, very clear was oftentimes for me personally, it's I move through things, when there's emotions, I move through them, and when they are quote unquote not good emotions, I try to move through them really fast, and when I don't, I blame myself. And then when there's good emotions, which is what I really want to be experiencing, joy, happiness, love, compassion, pleasure, you name it, when they come, um, I have not actually stayed steady with them, meaning I have not, like we learn to really feel the anger and feel the fear and feel the sadness and move through them, right? Like move it through our bodies and just let it come through and let the earth take it or release it to the universe and move through it. The same thing applies to joy, happiness, pleasure, expansion, empowerment, wealth, health, overall wellness, you name it. It's important to anchor it in our system. It's important to, okay, let's say I feel this internal peace, yeah? Like there's this being that is like an ancient being, right? That has lived and did its thing, and I'm just sitting here, and there's this like embodiment of wow, like there's this awe, like there's this massive awe. And with that comes a level of stillness and peacefulness. And there's a little bit of an expansion around me. And normally I would just, okay, like, what's the next thing? What's the next thought? Okay, the sun is setting. Okay, I have, I don't know, 4 more minutes. Like, okay, oh, thank you very much. Let me put it down. Mine just goes. But what is really important, especially on the brink and the break between 9 and 1, is to really acknowledge and feel everything else but the quote unquote uncomfortable emotions. I don't want to call them bad. They are not bad. There's power lies within every emotion, yeah? We just tend to call them bad or not good. Of course, we don't want to hurt anybody with our anger, yeah? It's important. But it's energy. It's misguided or stuck or just unmoved and unused power in our being. So just like we would feel those, it's really important that we linger, really, really linger in the feeling of expansion and in the feeling of joy and in the feeling of wellness and health, something going well, and just enjoying the moment of the sunset. Do you feel, you may not because you're not present, but there's this availability and possibility for just breath in, breath out, and just feel the energy moving through, and this beautiful, powerful expansion. And just letting it linger in our being and in our field. And the invitation for the month of October, as the sun is setting, number one invitation is to really linger in the good feelings and moments, and really focus on them, and really try to focus on the good, meaning what feels good, what feels aligned, what feels, if I have 10 things and 9 out of 10 are not going well, maybe really worthy to focus on the one that is going well. It's kind of a challenge, and it goes against everything that we have been taught and against that most of society does. But I invite us to do that. I definitely invite me to do that, and would love for you to join me. There's this amazing thing in being authentic. Like, it's so important in our world to be authentic with everything we do, with our feelings, to be honest with ourselves so we can be honest with others, yeah? And there's this authenticity of emotion, the raw emotion. And have you noticed it's so much easier to be authentic with grief and sadness and fear, sometimes even anger, as long as I'm not, transmitting it onto somebody else, but taking responsibility. This is kind of scary to be scratching my nose with a beautiful scorpion in my hand. And it's kind of harder to be authentic with our joy. Have you noticed that? Like, maybe you're not, maybe not for you, but in general, our world doesn't encourage that. So I'm going to ask us to be against the mainstream kind of flow, and really be authentic with our joy, and own the joy, and own the happiness when it comes, and own the gratitude. Gratitude is the easiest out of everything to feel, because there's always one thing to be grateful for. One thing. Whether it's the sunset, whether it's the birds, whether it's the moment, the breath, whether it's, being able to hold this amazing being and just admire it without having to run away from it and fear it. Anything and everything can be a moment of the point of gratitude, yeah? So that one is easier to go to than sometimes joy and happiness. But really owning them and being fully transparent and fully like, okay, I'm actually in gratitude right now, and I'm gonna own it, and it's gonna be okay. Like, I don't have to, I don't have to go everywhere, and when people are sad and upset, I don't have to go, oh, be grateful, or oh, I'm grateful. Like, why are you not? It's not that kind of owning it. It's more like, wow, I can understand that something is happening over there, and I can kind of be like, okay, I have compassion, and it's still okay to be grateful, and I can own it for myself. Like, I don't have to necessarily broadcast it and kind of have other people struggle with that. Like, if they're not able to have compassion, right? Then I'm not gonna kind of push their buttons. I'm just gonna own it, and be in it regardless. Does that make sense? All right. Happy and powerful 1, really 10, month of October, yeah? Bye, everybody. Bye.